Hey, welcome to the Movie Bros show.
Welcome back.
Movie
Welcome
Bros
back.
show. It's our second episode, guys.
Yes.
If you can't tell, we're excited about it, and we hope
Yeah.
you are too.
Yeah.
So
This is about as cheesy grand as I get. So, and that's a lot. That's a lot.
my beard really hides my
Yes.
smile.
Yes.
But I'm smiling everywhere. But yes, so we're back, and we're excited to get in the episode. On the show today, we're going to be deep diving into a movie, as always, and that movie is
It was.
The Last Night in Soho.
Thank
right?
you. Thank you.
Right.
Last
Okay.
Night in Soho. Yes,
Last Night in
for
Soho.
Sure.
So if you haven't seen that, major spoilers for that one.
Yes.
Minor spoilers for others, because we're going to reference movies, because that's kind of what we do
Right.
on the show.
Right.
But we're excited you're here. We're excited to be here, and let's get it going.
Let's do this.
Show intro.
Yeah.
Whatever. Our get to know you. We want you to get to know us a little
Yes.
bit. Movies bring people together.
Yes.
So we're gonna start with a little story about taking girls to movies
Yes.
because
Yeah.
we like girls, and
Like
Josh-
movies. So.
we like movies. Josh told me he has a really funny story to share on this one, so I'm gonna let him go first because mine I have two, but we'll get there.
Okay, so you gotta imagine this is 95, the 90s area for myself, and had a girlfriend, and we got some alone time, and I thought, hey, let's go see a movie, and let's do what teenagers do, right? Make out, and kind of the first time we kind of had been together in a dark theater, and it was in Pratt. There was probably like 4 people in a 50-seater, so it was just a lot of dark and 2 teenagers that really were into each other. Unfortunately, the movie we saw was called The Matrix, and it got to the point where I literally just like told her to not pay attention to me, and I moved 2 seats over. She was trying to make out and get fresh, and I'm like, get off me, I'm watching this movie. And there's the movie, like, first off, let's just go up with the first initial subway fight scene. At that point I was like, oh man, I'm in trouble, like, this is flipping cool, and this girl right here, she needs to go somewhere. And it got to the point where I literally just kind of got up and moved 2 seats over, or a seat over, so there was a space just so I could focus on this movie. And I'll never forget that. It was just the funniest. It was a life-changing movie, man. The Matrix came out and everybody enjoyed it. I don't think there was so many iconic scenes, great actors. And so that was my first movie taking a girl to the show, man.
Awesome. My first movie at just me and a girl was not by my own choice or planning. It was I was invited by a bunch of our friends to go. Hey, you want to go see this movie on this night? I was like, sure, let's go. I show up and it's just me and the girl, and I'm like, oh, where's everybody else? Well, they said they aren't going to make it. I'm like, okay. So they set us up on a date.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. So it was accidental, but one of the best parts is that this person turned out to love movies almost as much as I did, and she wanted to watch the whole movie, and we didn't make out till later, but yeah. So, but I am also one of these people. You probably don't like me when I watch movies, because I'm going to try to guess the plots. I'm going to try to guess what's coming up, what's going on. Oh, that character is gonna do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say things, and I have no filter. Sometimes I'm just gonna be like, oh, that dude has a secret, and it's gonna be revealed in probably the next scene. Let's watch.
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, that's what happens. Just I see undertones, I see foreshadowing, I see plot, points that maybe other people don't. And because I love storytelling, and I love visual storytelling especially, it's what got me to read. The first thing that ever got me to read was a video game because I loved how awesome it played, and I liked the story behind it. And then, so I predict the movie was Stardust.
Oh, okay.
And it's very good, fun movie.
Yeah.
And I predicted about half of the things. I was like, Robert De Niro, his character, he's actually not a bad guy. He's in the closet somehow.
Right.
I didn't know I actually meant literally in the closet.
Yeah, right.
But like 100%, I'm like, he's not really a jerk. There's something about him that's going to let us stay on this ship, this airship.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he wasn't a jerk. He was a really cool guy. And then the fact that the star, whenever she crashed in Fairy Tale Land, she was allowed to be human, but if she ever went outside, she would be not real. Things like that. Like, I just... to where the girl... spoiler alert, the girl is now my wife, Ashley. But she 100% was like, Jeremy, you've seen this movie before. She's like, no, I haven't. I'm literally seeing it with you for the first time. And I slid my card that night, and I paid with the money I didn't have. And so I got a personal overdraft fee.
So it cost you something.
As the 17-year-old kid that barely, had his first job, I worked 2 hours a day at a gas station, being their stock boy or stock man or whatever, stalker, whatever I was. But yeah, that was my very first one. Then, for our actual official first date, another really good movie, 1408. It's a short story by Stephen King. It's got John Cusack in it. He goes and stays in 1408.
Yes. Is it and it's like the motel?
Yeah.
And it's all about his it's all inside of his head or his mental.
Kind of, yeah.
I can't remember. It was but that was a really good movie.
Yeah, it freezes in the room. They just destroy the crap out of that set, and I loved it. But yes, we saw that, and I was like, okay, this is a movie I wouldn't mind, making out with my girlfriend. We just became boyfriend girlfriend. But if she wants to watch a movie, I already planned for extra time later. And then, sure enough, 3 of our friends walk in the theater as the previews come on and sit like 3 rows in front of us.
Gotcha.
So we can't really get away with it. So we both love movies, so we watched it. But ultimately, that was first date, first movies with girls.
Well,
so.
yours was way better than mine. I tell you, I did that girl wrong. It was so bad. I mean, I think I had to buy flowers or something. But yeah, it was that was the wrong movie to try and get to know somebody. We're kind of talking about movies to see, and one of the movies that we both really thought was a great flick was Last Night in Soho, and I was kind of surprised by it, to be honest. The trailer was done really good, so it kind of piqued my interest. The movie kind of, for me, took a little bit of a dark turn, I thought. But overall, just another great, fantastic movie. Great suspense. kind of just was a really good movie. So I think today we're gonna kind of review and give our movie bros opinion about it. And like always, spoilers ahead.
Yeah.
Spoilers ahead.
So many spoilers.
So many spoilers.
So many. We're going to talk about the whole movie, probably.
The whole thing.
Lots of twists and turns that you might not want to know if you haven't seen it. So if you have not seen Last Night in Soho, pause it. Pause this. Go watch it. Come back. Okay? As a precursor, there is content in this movie, such as I think there's, I mean, it's rated R. I think there's all sorts of content in it because it's based on, lots of things. So, we're not going to spoil it yet. So, final spoiler warning, spoilers. Okay. Let's get into it.
You've been warned.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Cool. So what do you think of the movie? Like just overall, like if you had to say I loved it because.
Yeah, so I loved it because I felt like it was a good mystery.
Yeah.
I like the fact that well, one, I love the era that she kept seemingly transporting to. Yeah. That kind of glam glitz 1960 era, next 60s, maybe late 70s, something like that.
I think it's the 60s.
Is it the 60s?
Yeah.
I love the storytelling. I love the mystery of it. Love the colors. Can't get enough about the costumes, the designs, the characters. I think every character was really interesting, from the creepy cop, to the pimp, just all the characters were really interesting. I mean, you saw a character and you just wanted to know more about him, kind of follow him throughout their day. At least I felt that way.
Yeah.
I like the psychosis moments throughout the film. I feel like. It's just there's just something unique or weird about those psychotic moments, like when she's cutting the fabric, or when she wakes up as one other person, or the mirror talking back to her, mirror moving on forward. I love the fact that when she walked up to a mirror, it was the other persona,
yeah,
so to speak. It was just a really well done movie. Great script, had some dark subjects, that you wouldn't let kids kind of watch. But I don't think they did it. They could have overdone it to where it turned you off to the movie. But I felt like it was just kind of the right balance. It didn't make it to where when you left the movie, all you could think about was the horrible moments, right? It kind of was enough to where it flowed and made the story. I kind of did guess the ending, though. I kind of halfway through it, I was like, I wonder X, Y, and Z. I love the interracial stars. The black young guy with
thought
the
he
white.
did a great job.
Yeah, with the white. I like it to. I like that thing where it's just not normal. It's not just two people of the same race or anything like that. I kind of felt like that was a good point. But again, every character in there was so unique. Like you really fell in love with each character, even the characters that died. And the supernatural aspect. So it really just covered a lot. I mean, it was like a mystery. It was a thriller. It had some supernatural. It had some like dark issues there. There were psychotic moments in there. I mean, it was just fit a lot of.
You just had to try
genres.
to figure out the whole time, like, is this a horror movie? Is this a mystery? Is this... Well, it's a mystery, but is it also, like, is this a whodunit? Is this
Right.
is this her in a past life? Is this
Right.
her, actually doing these things through this person?
Right.
Can she affect the past, or is she just living out someone's memory?
Is it a time travel piece?
Yeah, right.
Is it a psychosis piece?
Yeah.
I mean, it really left you guessing, and it really made you just kind of sit there and just enjoy the movie.
Yeah. And again, like you said, the colors. Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
like,
the sets.
She's in a design school, and so she's designing in like I feel like it's now time.
Yeah.
And then she's in the 1960s, transported way back. That would be, incredible, crazy, to experience. And then, like, every time you go to sleep, you wake up as this new character. And you're you, but you see yourself in mirrors as someone else. And I also love, like, all of the mirror effects. They use some practical effects, too. Like, they used the Phelps twins in one of their shots to play two people, so it looked like one reflection.
Okay, yes.
And like, it's super cool, man. Like, I just loved it. It was great.
I mean, I even love the fact that, like, you kind of fell into the story of the girl that had a beautiful voice, and you thought, initially when you saw it, you're like, oh man, she's gonna blow up to be like Marilyn Monroe, and then when you found out it wasn't like that, I mean, I was almost sad. I was really sad for her. It felt like kind of a story that, like a Dateline story almost, to where she kind of started off this direction and then it kind of spiraled out. So, yeah, again, a lot of good entertainment there. A lot of good, rich characters. It was a pretty good movie.
It's like how much talent is actually wasted that way. It's like people just take advantage of them instead of, like, actually give them opportunity. You just think about that. It's like, man, that's so frustrating that she had to go through that at all. But
and shout out again to Matt Smith and Anna Taylor-Joy, man. I love Matt Smith. I literally just watched, I believe, season 4 or 5 of Doctor Who, and that's when he first came out.
Yeah.
And now I see him in every movie that I watch. Apparently, it's like he's in everything now. Yeah. But he did a great job. His this portrayal of anger, his portrayal of seduction, his portrayal of he's just a great actor. You really kind of. You love him, even though he's a dirtbag.
I was like, I wanted to like him so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I like you.
Right.
It's like, stop being a jerk.
Exactly. I mean, he's just so charismatic that you just cared about him. And you were like, just don't do that. Why are you doing that, right?
Like, and quit.
And then I'm a huge fan now of Anna Taylor-Joy. I mean, I think she's, I saw her in The Northman, and she portrayed some really hard scenes I thought were just, I'd never really seen some stuff like that. But she just had that star quality beauty. Not to the comparison of like Marilyn Monroe, but man, she was up there. I mean, you really just felt like she could have just broke out and been like the greatest star you ever saw.
Right. And I love that. Like, when they start telling you her part of the story, like, they don't start, like, introducing her. You don't understand what's going on. It's like, you just are immersed into this one person's life.
You just strap in on that roller coaster, man. You strap in on that roller coaster ride. Yeah. And you just go for that journey, man. And it was a great movie. I really did enjoy watching that one.
So whenever the movie turns into like the haunting style, like zombie men that are like following them in the library, I was like, what is this movie? I love it. It's like, oh my gosh. And one of the other things, like, a lot of people might feel like it's an interruption, but that flashing red light out of her room.
Yes.
I love it. That sets the atmosphere.
To me, that was almost like, initially I thought, oh, well, that red light is kind of representing some sort of a hypnosis state.
Oh, yeah.
Where she would kind of flip personalities or go back into a past life scenario. But I still hear the buzz.
Yeah.
of the light, the you know, yeah. So again, I kind of felt like the ending, like I kind of caught on eventually. I was like, oh, I bet.
Which part? Like, how did you see it?
Actually, it was with the cop when the cop was like, when she figured out the cop's name wasn't what she thought.
Oh yeah.
The cop's name was like, oh yeah, it's the other lady for sure. There's just no getting around it. She's the only other character left.
Yeah.
It was either her or the bar owner.
Yep.
Right.
And the bar owner was just a
Yeah.
guy who experienced it, who was there.
So, you know, again, I just was like, man, this is crazy, and you know, I really liked it. I kind of like the phantasmal, the ghosts grabbing her in the hallway and all that stuff. That's, to me, that's real freaky. I'm not, you know.
Well, I love it when they put like a big kind of actor in a role that you expect them to be someone key, and then they're not. And that threw me for a loop, because like the guy that plays the bar owner, I was like, he's awesome, he's a great actor, but no, he was just there. He wasn't the main villain. And not saying that the other people aren't great actors too, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, like, so that scene where so they go back in time and he's the bar owner, right? Is that correct?
I think
that reminded me of the bar guy in the Good Night, the Stanley Kubrick movie where they're out, or is it they're out in the hotel by themselves? Oh gosh,
The Shining.
The Shining, yes.
Oh yeah.
Remember they have a scene. He's like, "Come up to the bar,"
Yeah.
and he sits down at the bar, and there's that one bartender that's kind of helping feed his fantasy.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it kind of felt like to me on this movie with that bartender. Like he was going to play a pivotal role, and yet he was just kind of an add-on character.
Yeah.
Almost somebody that could have, deleted.
And that's how it was kind of a whodunit. Like at the same time, it's like, who is the person that we need to know about, and then you realize it's the like, because the whole time I think that she's playing a character that we want to be on the side of, that like, and the whole time I'm like, oh, they must be the bad guy, or oh, they must be the bad guy.
Right,
they're all bad guys,
right,
but they're not murdering people.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So again, the mystery part was well done. Just all around, just a great movie. So,
yeah.
What do you think on a bro score?
Oh man, see, this one's hard, because it's hard to find a flaw. Like there's just so many directions it takes. So the one thing is, like, I read some other reviews on it, and that's something I hate doing, because I hate taking other people's opinions into the movie with me. But I read it, and I was like looking for it, so I kind of expected it. But they said at first it's super traditional and like what you would expect like a designer in Soho to experience, and then you are like, what happened? What changed this movie? Why is this so just not what I expected? But I liked that. I was like, oh no, hold on. That was something I liked, because it became so unexpected. It's like, oh, I thought this movie was way different.
Yeah.
Because I try never to watch the second trailer of anything.
Yeah.
I just watched the first small like teaser, because if you watch anything else of this movie, you see way too much.
Okay.
And it's like, maybe because I know the story now, but I just rewatched the preview, like the full preview, and I'm like, don't watch that. Don't watch that if you haven't seen it, because it's like...
Yeah, just take our word for it, man. Just dive right in. I wouldn't even watch the trailer. And I kind of feel where you're going. Initially, the movie started off with... So the girl and her mother for about 10 or 15 minutes, right? And her telling, hey, don't go to London or Soho or whatever, how they call it. You're not, there's bad people there. And then she goes, and then she kind of finds bad people. Or kind of her roommates are leading her astray and this and that. And I thought, oh, here we go, another story
Her
about
roommates are jerks.
right, another story about some girl who never drank or never did anything, and now they're gonna lead her down the wrong path. And it just kind of didn't turn out to be that at all. I mean, it was just a surprise. So
yeah. Overall, I'm gonna have to say 8.9.
okay,
Maybe like it's
up there. Yeah, I was thinking like 8.5, 8.7.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't. The only thing I didn't like was, and I'm not saying I didn't, or I guess you wouldn't really like it. I just didn't like the whole kind of men coming at the woman every time. That was just kind of a little bit too much for me.
Well,
but outside of that, I'm telling you,
in the '60s,
yeah, and I get
sadly,
it.
That was commonplace.
I get it. I get it.
It just sucked.
Even now, there's places where I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
You know, women are put in a position where they have to do things to help survive. I get that.
That's ridiculous. But no, yeah.
And I get it was a part of the story, and that's where I'm kind of. That's my breaking line.
Yeah.
Like, are you showing this because you just want to show this,
Yeah,
or
like
is this
glorify it?
right?
Yeah.
Or is this significant to help continue the movie?
Yeah.
And it was, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But outside of that one, 5 or 10 minutes there, I enjoyed the movie. My eyes were glued.
Yeah.
It was one of those movies where, if you had to go to the bathroom, you just held it.
Yeah.
And just kept watching, right? I mean, it was so great.
Like, you didn't even want to pause it because you didn't want that, like, experience
the
stopped.
ambiance of it to stop, man.
Yeah.
So, great movie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, that's our total deep dive and our bro scores, bro show score. So, let's go ahead and end it up with something fun. But first, this. All right, welcome back. In this last part of the show, we are going to have a little bit of fun. So I have challenged Josh and myself with coming up with a famous action movie that you want to recast everyone else as Muppets, except for one main character or one character in it. So, like, for instance, and we can't use this, of course, but Die Hard, Bruce Willis versus everyone else's Muppets. So the whole movie is remade. Everyone's Muppets except for Bruce Willis. Yeah. Yippee-ki-yay. Anyway.
Yeah. I actually came up with two off the top of my head.
Okay,
and
awesome.
One's kind of fresh because we just talked about it, but I'd like to see The Matrix and Keanu Reeves and all the famous sayings. So, like, imagine like...
Keanu Reeves is the one you would keep?
Yeah, the Keanu Reeves would be the one human character, and everybody else is puppets, like a Matrix. So imagine, say, there you go, Mr. Anderson by, like, Grouch or
Agent Smith.
Yeah, Agent Smith being like Grouch.
Cookies.
Yeah, Cookie Monster or whatever, right? That'd be hilarious. My other one, famous movie, is it's called Ong Bak, and it's by Tony Jaa. Yeah. But can you imagine the brutality of Tony Jaa, like, whooping up on, like, Big Bird, or any of the Muppets characters? I think that would be hilarious.
That would be.
Like double flying elbows on Big Bird or something, or I just think that would be hilarious. So
awesome. Well, my choice, I think it would go well. I don't know. I mean, it probably wouldn't, but I would love to see Aliens, the movie Aliens, as like, but the only one that isn't a Muppet is the Xenomorph Queen. Like,
Fun.
Everyone else is Muppets. Like, even Sigourney Weaver, she's a Muppet. Like, everyone's Muppets except for the Alien Queen. And, like, imagine her hunting Muppets.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great. Yeah,
I can kind of see it to where, you know,
It's like Bert and Ernie are the guys that are like,
right,
huh?
exactly.
You know, face suckers go on their face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be great.
Yeah, it could be kind of like a movie spoof.
Yeah, right.
Right, where they use only Muppets.
Uh-huh.
Hey, we're going to trademark that, so if you come up with that...
Oh, someone already did it.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
of course.
I think something like Sunnytime Murders or something, and it's like puppets worked into murder. Yeah, it's awful. There is a really good show on Netflix, though. I'm going to drop it, but I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Murderville. It's hosted by Will Arnett. They bring a character onto the show, so guest star. They don't know the murder mystery. They don't have a script. It's all improv. And Will Arnett takes them through the whole thing. But it's great. I love it. And that's another one that I think would be great. Like bringing a show in, and yeah, some of them are Muppets, so it's great. But yeah. Well, that does it for this episode of the Movie Bros show. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out.
Stay classy, San Diego.
See ya.